All right, another really good practice. Great weather. That was good to see. We've had a couple of rainy, cold days, so it was good to get back out there and have a really good practice. And we've been really slow this year with not necessarily install, but situational stuff. We've been really slow. We're in eval mode and compete mode and really see what these guys can do. So I think that part's been really good. It allows you to develop these guys, and when they're seeing the same plays and getting the same calls on defense, just allows those guys to really develop and really for us coaches to evaluate. So I thought that part's been good. Obviously, we got the spring game on Saturday. I don't know how much of a game it's going to be. It's probably going to be more of a scrimmage practice type deal, just because, like I said, we haven't hit all those situations and we haven't even put in short yardage and red zone and all that kind of good stuff. So. It'll be good to see some of these guys out here and with the crowd out there and be able to compete and some more eyes on you. So that part will be really good for the guys. And it's always fun to get the fans out there and get some students and get the families out here and all that. So it'll be a really fun day. I think the weather. It looks great, so we're really excited to get in front of a crowd and get out there and compete.
Yeah, going up to the spring game, just what do you want to see from your players when y'all go out there on Saturday?
Yeah, I think for us, just guys go out there and compete, and like I said, we're not gonna do anything crazy. Obviously, you got people out there and all that kind of stuff. Just do what we've been doing and continue and let guys compete and develop and that kind of deal. So I think it's just more of a fun thing more than anything.
Yeah, as we get closer to wrapping up spring practice and stuff, what have you learned about this team so far, and what do you like about them, and what are some things you think this team can still improve on?
Yeah, I think that's what I told the guys out there. These guys are very similar to the first year, man. You've seen leaps and bounds of the development and guys getting better. We just have so many new faces. Just guys getting out there and learning how to practice and like I said, getting the same plays over and over and over again. Maybe a mistake they made in practice 3 they didn't make in practice 10. So that's been really good to see, and we got some good competition. Really in all the rooms, which is good to see. And man, it's been a very rewarding spring. I think, man, this is a really good group of guys that are working their tails off. They're trying to please their coaches and been a lot of really good competition. And guys are getting better. That's part of what we're going to do here at Texas State. You got to develop these guys. Some of these guys you've signed in high school, maybe 2 classes ago, getting to see them go out there and compete. And they're still young guys, but it's been fun to see those guys develop. It's very rewarding as a coach.
What are some players you think have really took some leaps and bounds this spring practice?
Um, Offensively, like I said, I think a guy like Brad has really come on. Holden, I think, has haven't had his best day today, and that's why I kind of go back to. Like, if you're doing third down, you're doing red zone, you're doing short yardage, and everything's so new to him every day, it's hard to really evaluate sometimes. So when that many new faces, I think someone like Holden's really taking advantage of that and take advantage of the reps. And, man, he looked really good today. So that was good to see. I think Torrance Burgess and Jalen Jenkins are 2 guys. Greg, that whole running back room, man, is dynamic, and that's been really fun to see. So I'm very pleased with those guys. And then I think we got to continue to develop those young receivers like Jordan Martin and Kylan Evans. I think both of those guys have really come along. So that's been good to see. Offensive line, man, you just name them. They're getting better and developing. So that's been really good to see. And defensively. A guy like Ryan Nolan, I think he's taking that next step. I think someone you'll talk to today is just just a man, unbelievable kid and great player, and those are the guys you want in your program, man. Just one of my favorite guys I've ever coached. Just has got a nicked hamstring or an ankle or a shoulder, and just continues to push through and just very tough and great family and man, just really love that kid. So and I can name a bunch of other guys on defense, but he's someone that kind of stands out to me.
You talk about how the depth in that running back room and how well the offensive line. Do you expect to kind of lean on that rushing game, especially in the earlier this season, or just kind of?
Yeah. I think we've always kind of wanted to lean on those guys. But I think anytime you have a new quarterback with not a lot of experience, and those guys in that room don't have a lot of experience. So I think anytime you have new quarterback, whether it's any of those guys, man, it's you want to protect them, and I felt like we've done a good job of that. But also we got to evaluate them. So a couple of practices, hey, I don't know if we handed the ball off. I mean, it's been throw every play just to be able to evaluate them because we feel pretty confident that we can run the football.
Yeah, what goes into these evaluations during spring practice, especially when you have so many new faces and you're trying to figure out who's going to be the guy that's going to step up?
Yeah.
How have y'all been handling that?
Yeah, it's I think spring ball and like the college football timeline is just changing so much. Is this, to me, this is just true evaluation and competition. Obviously, you're implementing some schemes, but like I said, we're not getting too deep in the situational stuff right now. We're really evaluating and installing some base stuff and letting guys feel comfortable out there to be able to compete and know what to do. So. I think it's been really good. It really has. I really like the way we've been doing it. We'll go 12 practices. We probably won't even get a full 15. We missed a couple practices because of weather and stuff. So this is more about, hey, let's take care of the bodies and let's get better. But at the same time, this is a big, eval portion of the year.
And then looking at these quarterbacks, lastly with those four, is it still like everyone's getting equal reps?
Yeah.
Have you been seeing a little separation from one from the other?
Yeah, it's been equal reps, and yeah, I think some guys are separating, and that's just part of it, and it's naturally going to happen like that. But all four of those guys can play at a really high level, so feel really good about those guys, and so we'll kind of see how it plays out.
Yeah, and as we wrap up like spring practice, so what's going to be the main focus going into summer workouts?
Same thing. I think obviously you got the portal window, so we'll try to add some pieces that really help us, go win a championship, and then it's back to running and lifting, and you get time with them now in the summertime, like especially in June before we go. The coaches take their vacation. Like it's camps, it's high school camps, but it's also, I mean, you're out there, getting after it and installing. That's when we'll do a lot of our situational work in the summertime, hit a bunch of our situations, and then fall camp will be here before you know it.
What are some positions you think you'll want to add some depth in, or potentially find like another starter to kind of help y'all?
Yeah, I think we're open to anything, and we're going to scour at all positions and kind of see who can help us.